I'm Emily, 32, and I never thought I'd be the type of person to suspect my husband. James is 34, charming, funny, and at least on the surface, the perfect partner. We've been together since college, married for 7 years with 2 kids, Mia, 6, and Leo, 4. Our life, from the outside, looked perfect. It started with small things. James started working late more often, which wasn't unusual at first. He's a project manager and deadlines are brutal. But then I noticed little shifts. The way he'd guard his phone when he was around me, the sudden need to check emails whenever I walked into the room, the subtle sighs, distracted smiles at nothing. I tried not to let it get to me. I trusted him, or at least I wanted to. But one night, while he was in the shower, his phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. Against my better judgment, I glanced at it. It wasn't work emails. It was a string of messages from someone named Nina. Casual, flirty, and unmistakably intimate. I froze. My heart raced. My stomach sank, and a part of me refused to believe it. I knew I shouldn't snoop, but my hands wouldn't stop scrolling. The texts were more than flirtation. They were secret plans, jokes about inside things I didn't know about, laughter about moments I thought were ours. I left his phone where it was, my hands trembling. That night, James kissed me goodnight, and I forced a smile. He had no idea what I had just seen, but I knew my life was about to change, and I had no idea if I was ready for it. The next morning, I couldn't concentrate. Making breakfast, packing the kids for school, even answering emails at work felt impossible. Every little noise made me flinch. Was it a message from her? Was James already lying to me about where he'd been last night? I decided I needed answers. Not confrontation, not yet. I needed proof. Over the next week, I noticed patterns. He was texting Nina during lunch breaks, always slipping out to take calls in his car. He laughed at his phone like he did with me years ago, but it was different. It was secretive, electric, intoxicating for him in a way I no longer seemed to be. One evening, while he was at a late meeting, I gave in. I accessed his email, and that's when the full picture hit me. Nina wasn't just someone flirty from work. She was the other woman. They had been seeing each other for months. Flights for weekend trips, dinner reservations at places we used to go together, and messages about, "When are you going to leave her for me?" I felt like I was drowning in my own home. I wanted to scream, to throw things, to shatter the world around me so he could feel even a fraction of this pain, but I didn't. I sat on our couch, curled into myself, listening to the hum of the refrigerator, and cried. When James came home that night, everything seemed normal on the surface. He kissed me, ruffled Mia's hair, joked about Leo's school antics, but I couldn't look at him the same way. My mind was spinning, the proof of his betrayal burning inside me. I didn't know if I could confront him. I didn't know if I should leave. And worst of all, I didn't know if I could ever trust him, even if I wanted to. The confrontation came sooner than I expected. It wasn't planned. I don't think anything like this ever really can be. It was a Thursday night. I was folding laundry in the living room. James was on the couch scrolling his phone. The kids were asleep. My hands shook as I picked up his phone from the coffee table, the same one I had already snooped on, but this time I wasn't just looking. I needed him to see that I knew. "James, we need to talk," I said, voice tight, barely above a whisper. He looked up, a small smile fading when he noticed my expression. "Okay, what's wrong?" I held the phone out. "These messages, all of them. Who is Nina?" For a moment, he just stared. Then his face shifted, first confusion, then guilt, then that awful, hard-to-bear mixture of shame and defensiveness. "Emily, he started, and I cut him off. "Don't. Just don't. I've seen everything. My voice cracked, and for a second, the world felt like it was spinning around me. Flights, dinners, plans, months of lies. He swallowed hard, eyes darting away. I didn't mean for it to get this far. Things were complicated. I never wanted to hurt you. I laughed bitterly, the sound hollow in the empty living room. Complicated? You're living a double life. You lied to my face every day. You held our kids, kissed me goodnight, and planned a life with someone else. Complicated doesn't even begin to cover it. James didn't argue. He just sat there, head in his hands. I messed up, I know. I'll do anything to fix this, Emily. But the truth was, I didn't know if fixing this was possible. Every moment of intimacy, every shared memory now felt tainted, and yet part of me still loved him, the same stubborn part that had loved him through college, through hard times, through life's mundane chaos. That part of me hated that love now, hated how vulnerable it made me. I told him we needed time apart. I told him no decisions tonight. I couldn't breathe knowing he was capable of this, but I also couldn't just throw away everything without thinking it through. That night, I slept on the couch. James asked if he could stay in the bedroom. I said no. The house felt heavy, thick with unspoken words and shattered trust. I cried until my pillow was soaked, wondering if the man I loved even existed anymore, or if he had been gone for months, hidden behind screens and lies. The next few days were unbearable. Every time I saw James, I wanted to scream, to shake him, to ask why. And every time I didn't, because part of me wanted to understand, even if understanding didn't excuse anything. I started keeping a journal, writing down everything I felt: anger, sorrow, confusion, tiny details that seemed insignificant at the time but kept piling up in my mind, like the way he laughed at his phone, the smell of her perfume he hadn't bothered to hide, the small gifts he'd forgotten to mention to me. One evening, I confronted him again, this time calmer, though my heart raced like a trapped bird. "James, do you love her?" I asked. He looked at me, eyes glossy, voice barely audible. I don't know. I thought I did, but then I look at you, at our kids, and I feel like a fool. I'm so confused." "Confused? You cheated on me for months. You weren't confused. You were deciding to betray everything we built." He flinched at the word, and I saw a flicker of shame, but it didn't make it hurt any less. "I want to fix this," he said, voice breaking. "I'll do counseling, whatever you want. Please, don't throw us away yet." I looked at him and felt something strange. Resentment, yes, but also the faintest spark of hope. Could trust be rebuilt? Could love survive this? I didn't know, but I also knew I had to try. If not for me, then for the kids. We agreed on ground rules: no contact with Nina, counseling, complete transparency. Every message, every email, every late night, everything shared. It felt suffocating, humiliating, and necessary all at once. Even after setting these rules, I had sleepless nights. I'd lie awake listening to the house, wondering if he'd give in again. The idea that someone he could touch, kiss, and share life with could still find someone else appealing was almost too much to bear. And yet, despite the pain, there were small moments. James helping Mia with homework, Leo running into his arms after daycare, him making coffee just the way I like it. Those little glimpses reminded me why I loved him, why I had stayed. But they also reminded me what was at stake: my trust, my heart, my sanity. Counseling started awkwardly. Emily, 32, sitting across from James, 34, trying to voice everything without breaking down completely. The therapist, a calm woman named Lisa, 45, encouraged us to speak honestly, to feel our feelings fully before trying to rebuild anything. "It's not just about the affair," Lisa said. It's about the breakdown of trust, about what allowed this to happen, and about what both of you need moving forward. James nodded, eyes red from the night before. I know I broke everything, he said. I just got lost in the excitement. I didn't think about the damage. You didn't think about the damage? I repeated, voice shaking. You lived a secret life for months, James. You didn't just forget about the damage, you actively caused it. Tears welled up, and he looked genuinely remorseful. I know, and I hate myself for it. I hate that I made you feel like this. I'll do anything to make it right. We started small, reading each other's texts, being transparent about every plan, sharing every detail of our day. It was humiliating at first, but also strangely healing. Slowly, the raw, searing anger began to soften into something more complicated: grief, fear, and a cautious hope. One night, James came home from work and found me in the kitchen, staring blankly at the counter. Emily, he said softly, can we talk? I nodded, though my chest felt tight. I know I don't deserve it, but I want to try again, he said. I want us. I'll spend every day proving I can be better, that I can be the husband you deserve. I don't know if you'll let me. I looked at him for what felt like an eternity. The man in front of me was flawed, broken, guilty, but he was also the man I had loved for more than a decade. Could I forgive him? Could I trust him again? I don't know, but I'll try, for us, for the kids. It wasn't a fairy tale. There were days I wanted to scream at him, nights I questioned every single moment we shared. But slowly, tentatively, we began to rebuild. Therapy, honesty, tiny acts of kindness. James stopped guarding his phone. He stopped hiding details. And I stopped looking. It's not perfect. I don't know if it ever will be, but we're trying. And for now, that's enough. Because sometimes surviving betrayal isn't about forgetting. It's about choosing every day to try, even when your heart is shattered.